Today we're taking a look at auto-resizing text boxes in Fusion. Now the easy way to do this would be to use the shading tool within the node itself, but the problem here is that then the text box and the text is the same node. And that's a problem if we want to use it for adaptive titles. So what I'm going to show you today utilizes the use of merge nodes and DoD. First, starting up in Resolve, we're going to navigate to the Timeline tab, create a new timeline. The setting doesn't really matter in this case. Then open the timeline and go to the Effects library. Navigate to Toolbox, Effects, and then drag the Fusion composition to your timeline. Now, open the Fusion tab. In the Fusion tab, all you have to worry about now is the Nodes window, the Previous window, and the Inspector. First, go to the Nodes window and press Shift Space to create a new node. Choose Background. This will be the base of our text box. You can preview specific nodes by pressing either 1 or 2 on keyboard to show them in this respective preview window. If you add that to the media out node, this will be shown on the timeline. Now add a text plus node and write something. If we just add the background and the text directly to the media out node, the two nodes are going to work like alpha match to each other. And the background really just defines the color of the text. That's not what we want. So, how do we make a box that changes relative to the size of the text? Unlike in After Effects, where each layer has their own width and height defined in pixels, Fusion doesn't work in pixels. As you see, all the values range from around -1 to 1, even the font size. And this is where DoD comes flying in as the hero of the day. DoD is an abbreviation of domain of definition, which refers to a rectangular region that defines the part of the image or node that actually contains data, which in our case is equivalent to the text box. But we don't really need the values. All we need to do is add another node called setDomain or DoD. What a coincidence. And then add the background and text layer to this node. It's important that the background layer is added to the yellow input and the text to the green, otherwise the text layer is gonna get the size of the background's DoD. Wow, now we have a text box. But unfortunately we can't see the text. The way we're gonna resolve that, get it? DaVinci resolve, whatever. The way we're gonna resolve that is with a merge node, adding the DoD node and the text node to the merge node. That's a lot of nodes, of course. Remembering the correct arrangement gives us a text box around the text. We can change the size of the box by changing the settings in the DoD node inspector. BEA, beautiful. Now, if we change the size of the text or the tracking, the text box adapts and resizes. Now, unlike the shape layer text box, we can actually change the opacity of the text without affecting the text box. Unless the opacity is 0, then the text box goes back to its original size, because with the opacity being 0, there's no data in the defined DoD. But again, we have a solution, because the smart thing here is that the text box is defined from the text node, but the text we actually see is another line from the same node. So if we affect the line that goes from the text to the merge node, we won't affect the text box. So, by adding a merge and a background, and adding the background to the merge node, and then the text to the merge node, oh shit, we can set the background alpha to 0. And now we can change the blend node of the merge node to essentially blend the text with a transparent background. And there you have it, an auto-resizing adaptive text box. Wow. I know there's been a lot of confusing wiring between the nodes in this episode, but I guess that's just how it goes in Fusion. Anyways, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more graphics machinery. See you soon.